The forest stood on the edge of the village, cloaked in eternal twilight. Its towering trees seemed to bend toward anyone who ventured near, their twisted branches clawing at the air like skeletal fingers. Locals whispered legends about the forest, warning that it was alive. Not in the way forests typically were, but in a sinister, sentient manner. It was said to hunt those who dared to step beneath its canopy. Drawn by curiosity and desperation, a group of 5 adventurers entered the forest one misty morning. Each had their reasons: treasure, glory, escape. But none expected the forest to react. The air grew heavier as they advanced. Leaves rustled, though there was no wind. The ground beneath their feet seemed to ripple like water. "Did you feel that?" whispered Jonah, the group's tracker, his voice barely audible over the creaking of unseen wood. They pressed on, ignoring the unease creeping into their hearts. Hours passed, or so they thought. The forest distorted time, turning seconds into minutes and minutes into hours. Shadows moved where no light shone, and the trees closed ranks behind them, forming a living wall. Soon the group realized they were not navigating the forest. It was steering them. It began subtly. A path that seemed clear twisted into a labyrinth. Branches blocked their escape, forcing them deeper into its heart. Then came the whispers, soft, sibilant voices that seemed to emanate from the very bark of the trees. One voice hissed. Countered another. The cacophony grew until the adventurers clutched their ears in agony. When they stopped to rest, the forest struck. Vines slithered from the underbrush, snaring Jonah's ankles and dragging him screaming into the shadows. The group gave chase, but their friend was gone. In his place, a gnarled tree stood, its bark etched with a face frozen in silent terror. Panic gripped the survivors as they realized the truth. The forest was alive, and it fed on intruders. Each tree was a victim, transformed and rooted forever in its domain. Determined to escape, they tried to retrace their steps, but the forest allowed no retreat. It toyed with them, offering glimpses of sunlight before plunging them into darkness. The ground shifted beneath them, sending one member tumbling into a pit of writhing roots. Their screams echoed briefly, then were swallowed by silence. By nightfall, only one remained. Lily, the group's youngest, stumbled into a clearing bathed in moonlight. At its center stood an ancient tree, its massive trunk scarred with countless faces. Their hollow eyes stared at her, and their mouths moved in silent pleas.
"You cannot leave,"
the forest murmured through the rustling leaves.
"Join us."
Lily screamed, clutching her blade, but she knew it was futile. The forest did not need to chase its prey. It was the predator, and she was already ensnared. When the villagers noticed the group's absence, they did not send a search party. They knew the forest had claimed them, as it always did, and the trees, twisted and gnarled, seemed to grow just a little taller,